Okay, let's define the basics of pitch. I'm pretty sure that you guys know what a low, medium, and high pitch is, what a rising pitch or falling pitch is. But sometimes just going over the basics, it's not a bad thing. Plus, I found those very cool audio recordings over here that I wanted to share with you because I enjoyed them as well. You can play low notes on the piano, and some instruments can play only low. For orchestra, that is the double bass and the cello. I don't know if you have seen a bassoon, but a double bassoon is even cooler. It is very, very big and it sounds very, very low. Listen to this. I don't know if you can tell how many double bassoons are playing, but I'll tell you it's two of them. Now, this instrument is called tuba. One thing that you should know about wind instruments is that when they are low, they are big and they require a lot of tubing. If you make all of this tubing into a straight line, it will probably reach 4 meters. I don't know how much that is in feet, but it's probably gonna be like over 12 feet. Anyway, this is how tuba sounds like. Pretty exciting. Now, this instrument here, it is a saxophone, but it's a low type of saxophone. It is called baritone sax, or if we're even shorter, Bari Sax. So this is how the Bari Sax sounds like. So the instrument that you heard in the background, of course, is percussion. And the question, what do you hear at the end of the recording? It's called a cymbal. Cymbals are those metal plates that are suspended next to the drums and in the percussion kit. Now, this is a bass guitar. Now this is a pretty standard ensemble. It's bass guitar, electric guitar, and percussion. And of course, here is the first instrument that every person learns, the human voice. Whoa, it goes pretty low. Yeah, I can go even lower in the morning. Anyway, this is a bass. The human voice that reaches the lowest notes is called a bass. In terms of medium pitch, here we have a banjo. That's a pretty cool picture of a banjo. And this is how a banjo sounds like. Now we have another saxophone. It has a little less tubing than the Bari Sax. that would be the tenor saxophone. All of this music is making my little bird excited. As you guys know, I have a Finch, so he's singing his heart out as well. Now, this impressive instrument is called a French horn. It is a member of the brass section, just like the trombone and the trumpet and the tuba. And it sounds like this. What's interesting to know is that in German it's called a Waldhorn, and Wald in German is a forest, which implies that this instrument very early on has been used for hunting. And here you have something that you might have not seen before. It's called the alto flute. And as you see, the mouthpiece bends around, and the reason for it is because the alto flute is so big that if you don't bend the mouthpiece, the player will not be able to reach the keys. So here is how this sounds like. It's great. You don't get to hear alto flutes that often actually in an orchestra performances, so this is really good. Now here is another type of flute. As you see, it's a very small one. It's called Piccolo. The flutes, just as well as the clarinets and bassoons and oboes, belong to the woodwind family of the orchestra. Now you notice that the flute is made out of metal, but early on it used to be made out of wood. So piccolos, at least good piccolos, are made still out of wood, very often ebony, but sometimes other types of wood. This is how piccolo sounds like. It's a favorite instrument for composers who like to compose marches or any other type of military music. And now, as you see here, this is another type of flute. It's called panpipes. It's popular in South America, and this player comes from Peru. heard that tune somewhere, I don't remember where. Kind of makes me want to go on Amazon and get some panpipes. Here is another picture of Piccolo. Now, this is not made out of ebony, as I mentioned, is another type of wood, perhaps rosewood, maybe. Anyway, this is how it sounds like. You see, the sound is very piercing. It can cut above the whole orchestra. And here is the ordinary flute, and this is how it sounds like. And here is a clarinet, as I mentioned, another member of the woodwind family. As you heard at the end, the trombone. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the different types of motion the pitch can do. A pitch can rise or fall, and a good word to add to your vocabulary is ascending. Try to say it with me. Ascending. Ascending. And try to spell it at home a couple of times so you remember it later. It's good word to know, or not only for music. So here is what it sounds like when the pitch is ascending. Did you guess what instrument that was? It was the flute. And here is an oud. I wonder if you would look it up and see where it comes from. And this is a trombone. Well, other members of the brass family, they have valves. That means little buttons to press to help them change the pitch. The trombone has a slide, so the trombone changes the pitch when it slides that front part that you see on the picture. All right, and now let's go to the falling pitch or descending. To say it with me, descending, descending. Okay, try to spell it also and add it to your vocabulary. It's a good word to know. Impressive. And now let's try to guess together what instrument is playing the tune. I have to warn you, there are a couple of instruments playing together in this, but the instrument that is playing the tune, I hope that you will recognize. Some of you know this music, some of you may have even played it. The instrument, of course, it's a violin, and it's a Baroque concerto written by the great composer Antonio Vivaldi. And with the violin, there behind is an orchestra, and there is, of course, a harpsichord, which is an essential part of the Baroque orchestra. Well, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. It was fun to go through those audio files with you, and now you will be really solid on the basics of pitch: low, medium, high, ascending, and descending. Let me know if you have any questions.